And yeah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ورضي الله تعالى عن السادة التابعين وعلماء العاملين وأئمة الأربعة المجتهدين ومقلديهم إلى يوم الدين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته everyone.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Sayyidi Sheikh Imam Naeem.
Allahu Akbar.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Alhamdulillah. We need y'all to come on in and share the video. Let's get these numbers up. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Rosalinda La Beliza. Excuse me. My Spanish ain't that good, but alhamdulillah. Eid Kareem, alhamdulillah. Share the video, let everyone know we're here. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Khadija, Mrs. Post Personal Business on a community thread. I was doing a class just a few minutes ago. She was like, Imam, your dinner ready. On the thread in the class. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Abu Muhammad al-Maliki. Safiya, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm waiting for y'all to share this video. Share the feed so we can get into it, inshallah. Because you know sometimes Facebook and YouTube, they don't send out notifications right away. So we got to do the work ourselves. Let everyone know that we're here, inshallah. The Black Imams Roundtable is live. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Aisha. Durahim. Samira, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Where you at, woman? Alhamdulillah. Tonight, inshallah, we are talking about priorities in our communities, arranging our priorities. Alhamdulillah. Yes, Khadija, some people are fasting today, others fasted yesterday. Alhamdulillah, we got Isa in the building. You know, I've been meaning to call Isa all week. I ain't get a chance to call him yet. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah. You know, sometimes I'll make my introductory comments very short. Because, you know, sometimes when we talk about different topics or subjects and we get into stuff, but a lot of times we miss what is, you know, what is called the elephant in the room. So a lot of times, so tonight we are talking about arranging our priorities in our community. Is that the title? Arranging our priorities in our communities. So I think the first priority is to have a community. Right? That's obvious, right? And I know for a lot of us, that's like that's a duh moment. Like that's like, you know, like I'm preaching to the choir. But believe it or not, for a lot of us here, still not part of a community. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhalladhina, he says, wa'tasimu bihablillahi jami'an wa la tafarraqu. Hold to Allah's rope, which is al-Islam, all together, jami'an. Wa la tafarraqu, and do not become divided or do not be divided. Jama'ah, the concept of jama'at, community, coming together. It's actually sinful to be off by yourself, doing your own thing. And Umar ibn al-Khattab, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he said, Innahu la islama illa bi jama'atin, that verily that there is no Islam without community. وَلَا جَمَاعَةَ إِلَّا بِإِمَارَةٍ. And there is no community without leadership. Imara. وَلَا إِمَارَةَ إِلَّا بِطَاعَةٍ. And that there is no leadership without obedience. So these are, if you think about it, these are real, that's a real strong statement, especially if you take into consideration the way that he said it, the way that it's worded, that there is no Islam without community. And you may look at that statement off top, be like, maybe that's kind of exaggerated speech, what have you. But if you look at different aspects of Islam, case by case, and you remove the Jamaat, which by necessity means you remove leadership and you remove obedience, you don't have any of these things. I mean, any of these issues. I mean, that is the elephant in the room. This is the reason why we have chaos in a lot of our affairs, because these things aren't established. So I think that the first arranging our priorities in our communities is getting a community. Alhamdulillah. So that's my introductory remark, because a lot of times we like to skip that stuff and skip the basic stuff, skip the shurut and get right into the arkan. No, you need the shurut, you need the preconditions in place first before you even get into the pillars of a thing. So a lot of us, we're off by ourselves and we're doing this and we're doing that, but we don't have a community, and we need to plug into a community. And I think, what we experienced, a couple of weekends ago is a testament to that. We witnessed, us coming together online, and it's like we are playing a part in the creating or the building or the solidifying of a community. And all of you who came there, right? What you experience is what we're missing locally. We should have all of this locally. So just think about, I saw a post by our sister Fatima Burke, and she posted a picture of the sisters that they took in Atlantic City a couple of weekends ago when we had the program. And her post was talking about how what's lacking where she's at in Canada. And that's the problem. What we got going virtually, we need that everywhere, because we're hurting in a lot of ways by not having this. There she goes, Fatima. Wa alaikum salam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I was just talking about your post, talking about what we miss, what you miss in Canada, based upon what you experienced in Atlantic City. And so this is what we need all over the place. We need communities on the local level. Alhamdulillah. And we should all be working to make that a reality. And so that is my opening comment. Alhamdulillah. Those were my scattered thoughts on the Black Imams Roundtable.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. For the next hour or so, I will give my scattered thoughts. Since we're giving scattered thoughts around here. Let me say Eid Mubarak to all of y'all who celebrated Eid today. And for all those deviants who follow Eid on their own day, make up every Eid has got to be a different day. Never could be the same as the rest of the Muslims. I know you guys. But, may Allah bless all of us with a good Eid, whether it's today or tomorrow. Alhamdulillah, may Allah accept our acts of obedience. Qulu am wa antum bi khair. Every day you get better. And in terms of arranging our priorities, I think that's important to talk about this subject, because I think the reason why we don't establish strong communities or communities at all are because our priorities are out of order. We don't know what we should do. And I think the first priority, and I was talking to some younger people today, and talking to those younger people, I realized how old I am. I think I'm young until I talk to them, and they're like, man, you a dinosaur. Like, what you talking? You know, I was talking to some youth, and they didn't even know what the Arsenio Hall show was. They had no idea what I was talking about. I was making an analogy through the Arsenio Hall show. You remember you used to have that portion to go things that make you go, Yeah,
you had the long finger doing all that.
Yeah, they had no idea what I was talking about. And it was really like tripping me out. I'm like, you actually don't know what I'm talking about? I was like, no. So I gotta realize my references are way outdated, right?
Did they even know who Arsenio Hall was?
No.
Subhanallah.
So, I mean, really, that's a serious culture gap. You know what I mean? Like, wow. So the stuff that we relate to, they have no idea what we're talking about at all, right? So how did I go off on that, right?
You was making an analogy using a Arsenio Hall show. You was talking to a brother earlier.
Oh, yeah. So I think the point I was making about that was about knowledge, right? And sometimes things that are basic that you would think is known is people are oblivious of it. So you would think, you know, we should build communities. Hey, we need a community to build anything. Things that make you go, right? Like, we should have a community, right? But so many people are used to doing it on their own. They don't want a community because it's become standard just to be solo. And that ideology is totally contradicting Quran and Sunnah and all of our points of Islam. Like you mentioned that verse, وَاطَّصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا, right? Join to the rope of Allah together and don't separate. As the Prophet ﷺ said, يَدَ اللَّهِ فَوْقَ جَمَاعَةً وَمَنْ شَذَّ شَذَّ إِلَى النَّارِ, that Allah's protections over the community, right? And whoever deviates from that deviates towards the hellfire. But this concept of being together is part of Islam. But our Islam has become to be separate, right? To be independent. I don't want to be a part of anything. And all of that relates to, I think, the number one priority is learning Islam in an organized, structured way, right? As the Prophet ﷺ, he said, طَلَبُ الْعِلْمِ فَرِيدَةٌ عَلَى كُلِّ Muslim. Seeking the knowledge is an obligation upon every Muslim. And the ulama, they mention about that this is talking about a specific knowledge, right? And that is a certain level of the knowledge, which is fard ayn, which is a personal obligation. And it is among us so many who have never learned Islam properly. If we be honest with ourselves, most of us have never had a teacher that taught us Islam in any subject from A to Z, right? So if we're learning Salah, for instance, we didn't learn all the rules of prayer. We might learn, just think about how many Muslims pray every day and have never been taught to pray. At best, they learn the words, right? They learn the positions, but no rules with it. Like, as all of us, we follow madhahib, we follow schools of thought, right? And all of us know in every school, whether it's Hanafi or Maliki or Shafi'i or Hanbali, that there are conditions, shurut, there are furud, arkan, integrals, obligations, and there are mubtilat, right? There are invalidators. And then there are sunan, there are adab, etiquette. All that is in when you learn how to pray, right? But most people and most of us, if we be honest, have never even heard of these things, let alone learn them, right? Have never heard of it. What are arkana salat? Hello? You got to know them to pray. No, I don't. All I do is this. And if there's no concern if the prayer is valid or invalid, if there are mistakes, none of that, right? So I think, and that's just with the prayer. That same thing goes with the purification, zakat, hajj, right? And I remember some used to say, most of us in our Islamic studies never got out the bathroom, right? It's like the rules, if you get a book of fiqh, the first book is all we studied. And we didn't even study that well, just, you know, the 5 pillars, and that's it. And not well. So I think the first priority is that we have to have an agreement that we have to learn the deen over. We never learned it in the first place, but even what we learned, we have to learn over, right? And that's a hard pill to swallow for most of us, especially us who has been Muslim for, and you know, in our understanding for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, right? That's a hard pill to swallow to say after 40 years, somebody come tell you really don't know your deen. You don't even know how to pray correctly. You're just going through the motions. And our deen has been motions. So I think that's a priority, right? Because we're never going to move forward as a community or build a community if we don't understand the deen properly, right? Because most of the times our mindset has been told us that I'm good. And don't let nobody tell me I'm not good. I'm good. I got it. I got my Yusuf Ali Quran. I got my Noble Quran. I got my Sahih Bukhari. I got my Fiqh Sunnah, and I'm good. When in reality, that's not sufficient to do what we want to do as far as education, right? So if you talk about any society that's built, it's built on education first. Like people got to be educated and know what they're doing, right? You know, and then that's one aspect. That's an aspect of learning. That's my opening statement, right? I'm getting ready to go in. Right? Like I've been thinking about this stuff. The second point of that is racism in education. Racism in education. So we have to learn, but we got to learn to the extent that we become our own educators within Islam, because others have not served us well, which is part of the reason why we don't know the deen. They've monopolized off our ignorance. They've built their own communities off of our ignorance, right? So we don't know the deen. We're going to make sure what we give you is just enough to keep you serving us, so you never build a community, right? And that's why so many African-American Muslims are disenfranchised. They don't have anything because they spent most of their deen serving somebody else who didn't have their best interests at heart, right? And a lot of times, I think we need to build our own. And even that, I was listening to, I'll stop with this because I got a lot of stuff going. My scattered thoughts is really scattered on this subject. I was listening to a talk show on YouTube. It was old. John Henry Clark, you know, you're Dr. John Henry Clark, right? There was out of Detroit, his name was Cleavage. It was a light-skinned guy, the Black Madonna Church or something. He was in the 70s, maybe. Like he was like a Christian, Black Christian with like a Farrakhan mentality.
Reverend Cleage?
Yeah, what's his name?
Instructions of Black Madonna.
Yeah, this guy. Him.
I think that may be the person that Malcolm mentioned in the Ballad of the Bullet.
Yeah, he was like he wanted like a radical Christianity for Black people, right? And there was another guy, I forget a third person, and I was listening to their discussion, and they was talking about in the discussion, they was talking about Black papers on white racism. That was basically what it was called. And one of the things they mentioned was who educates you determines how you think. And since we've been educated Islamically by others, we think that their way of doing things is the only way to do it. So we see Islam through the eyes of someone else, not through our own eyes. Like they were saying, Black people see education through the eyes of white folk, right? And as Black Muslims, we've been seeing Islam through the eyes of Arabs or Desis and never saw Islam through our own eyes. And how does it relate to our own culture, nor learned enough that we could apply the deen to our reality, right? And I think this is a big issue and that's a serious elephant because it takes guts to say it, right? You know, you still got Black Muslims as servants to others. I mean, like, they don't even have their own. In their own communities, others are controlling them and telling them what to do that don't serve their interests. So I think these are early steps that we need to do to start to change this situation. I mean, that's just my opening thoughts. And I really want to expand on those things because it's deep. I had so many things happening this week that made me think about all these matters, right? Like, every community has their own fatwa committee. Every community, I mean, of different groups, different ethnicities, have their group of scholars or learned people where they go get their fatwa for their specific issues. And the rules of the religion are examined in light of their situation. And they're given judgments based on that. But we don't have that. Whenever we got issues, we go to someone else to tell us a general rule, but they're not talking about us, right? They're telling us what they want us to do while not having a real concern of our condition. And the evidence of that is that our condition never changes. It stays the same, if not get worse. It never changes. It stays the same if it doesn't get worse. And the very people who are telling us about our conditions are the ones who are benefiting from our conditions. Like, that's some serious, deep stuff. So, like, when they look at these imams, like, all of us, we're really doing some serious trailblazing that we may not even realize what we're doing, right? Because we're not afraid to say this is about us. But everyone else does that as a standard. It's about us. It's not about you at all. And it's accepted, right? But when we try to start building for ourselves, it's like, hey, wait, whoa. What's this black stuff you're talking about? But no one ever said, what's this ethnicity stuff you got going on that doesn't include us? Even when you dialogue, you don't dialogue in relation to all Muslims, right? That's some deep stuff. But I think when we start educating, you're going to find, like I found today. I got a fatwa today from the Malikis. Word is born. I think I'm getting ready to become Maliki, Imam Faheem. I'm going to have to roll out. That's the easiest madhab on the planet, right? I need some facilitation, brother. Right?
It's the black method.
Yeah, man. It's right. And so I had a real serious issue that's serious. And the Malikis came through. So, man, ain't that deep here. Follow us. I was like, mashallah, vertical oblique. Right? But it was related to us. You know, and I said that now, if we didn't have that access and couldn't really talk to our teachers like straight up, yo, this is a serious issue and I need a serious judgment. And I had like several teachers on the job, right? Because this was fatwa stuff, right? And having that access when I could speak from our standpoint. Don't tell me what is ideal. Don't tell me, listen, this is the situation and I need an answer for this case. And it wasn't a normal answer, but it was helpful for our situation. So I think, but we need that among ourselves, you know? I don't know, Khadijah, man, it's so easy. I'm gonna get me a dog. I'm gonna get me some pigskin shoes. I'm sorry. No, I'm joking. Right. Go ahead. No. I can't help myself, Imam Naeem. But that's my opening statement.
Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulihi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsani ila yawm ad-din. Want to first wish you all Eid Mubarak. Alhamdulillah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from us and from you all. Amin. Alhamdulillah. Before I start, you know, we got to get to the cover fee. All right. I paid for myself and one other person. So, you know, follow suit, inshallah. You know, carry yourself or carry one other person, man. Break through the velvet ropes, you know, and come through the VIP section, you know. So, inshallah, we get it going. No better time than these best days of, you know, these ayam of Allah, who subhanahu wa ta'ala, the best days to Allah are these days of Dhul Hijjah, you know, these first 10 days. Okay. Yeah, prioritization is very important, especially for us. You know, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by way of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, teaches us the importance of prioritizing things, you know. One of the hadiths that come to mind, I think about the hadith of Mu'adh ibn Jabal. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he sent them to Yemen, he said, you know, you are going to the people of the book. And he said, so let the first thing that you call them to is La ilaha illallah. And he said, if they accept that, فَإِنْهُمْ أَطَاعُكَ, if they obey you in that, you know, then tell them that the salat is fard upon them. Then if they obey you in that, you know, then tell them the zakat and so forth and so on. So we learn from the hadith the importance of prioritization, you know. So when those people, like, they can't learn about Hajj, they can't learn about Saum unless the Shahada is intact. So we take that as a method, you know, to understand what is important for us. And alhamdulillah, we've already achieved this as Muslims, that we've got these priorities, you know. Now, I think what's important for us in prioritizing, you know, our issues as African-American Muslims in America, you know, I think we need to establish power. We need to establish power and control. You know, as Imam Amin has mentioned, you know, so many people are trying to control our narrative, you know, and trying to, you know, not let us tell our own story, or, you know, trying to interrupt what we try to do for ourselves and make it like a race thing, or like, you know, we just exclusive. And that's not even the case. We just want our spot at the table. And I think we've reached a point where we just have to take our spot, you know, because we need power. Because once we get power and control, a lot of the things we can do on our own, and we don't really need to, we don't even have to appeal to anybody for anything, because we're, you know, we're taking care of ourselves, you know. I had today, we celebrate our Eid today, you know, mashallah. And so I was able to meet with some elders afterwards, and we had some remarkable discussions. And one of the brothers he was telling us a story about, you know, when he studied overseas, and he was just saying like how long he was over there, or, you know, over 10 years. And then like some of the stuff that we learned that's, you know, traditional Islam, you know, like about tasawwuf and, you know, even about Ahlul Bayt, you know, that some of the stuff he said he never seen this stuff in all of the years that he was over there. So it's like he's making like he had to have a new like discovery, you know, and it was very interesting. And then another sheikh said that he said he noticed that when he went to Hajj a few years ago, he said, you know, he was just looking at the plight of, you know, our people, black people. He said they was almost like they were insignificant over there. You know, he said that he had an advantage because he knew how to speak Arabic. He knew his way around. But if it wasn't for that, he would have been in the same boat. You know what I'm saying? So it's like around the world, people are like undermining us, you know, and not really respecting our contributions, you know, to the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And especially considering the circumstances that we've been in as black people in America who converted to Islam. You know, it's almost like a miracle. It's like so remarkable the way that we came to Islam and we carried this deen and the energy and, you know, the integrity that we hold, and how this Islam really, in many of our cases, has transformed our lives, you know. So when we talk about priority, you know, we have to keep carrying that, and it has to transform into power for us at some point, you know, because we need to control our own, we need to do our own, and we don't need to ask anybody for anything, you know. And we've mentioned this previously, you know, that one time the Muslims had this, you know, we had control. And now, you know, some people came in and like interrupted our flow, and then they had other people who look like us who helped them along. You know, so we got to get back to that, you know, having control over our stuff, man, and really being in a position of power, man. So we call the shots. You know, we don't have to, we're not in competition with anybody, because we're so concentrated on developing ourselves, because we control the narrative, because we are prioritizing things for us. You know, no one's going to tell us that our Islam is not really legit because we're not from another country, or, you know, we're not really imams. You know, I've heard this, you know, when it's something that they need, oh yeah, imam this, that, sheikh. And then if it's something that goes against it, he's not really an imam anyway. And this is from my own people. You know what I mean? So I couldn't even tell you about the foreigners, you know what I mean? But my own people, oh, he's not really an imam, you know. And so this is some of the stuff that we got to deal with. And I think we just need to really, you know, we need to put down a comprehensive list of things that are priority for us. And, you know, some of them are economic empowerment, you know, education, proper creed, you know, training, you know, all types of, you know, so many things that will really comprise of a powerful community, both online and off. You know, we really got to put these things in order, you know, but we need to be in control. We need money, we need resources, we need support, we need people, you know, all of these things are important. So we gotta keep this going, you know, either here or on the ground. As we mentioned, Imam Naeem put it really nicely about many of us, we're not involved in communities, you know, in our respective areas. We're floating around, and some of us, and I have to say this because I heard this, many of us, well, not many of us, excuse me, some of us are really not even have enough integrity to keep, you know, stuff loyal, you know, like, you know, as for many people who are listening to us, there are a lot of people that don't want to hear what we got to say. And people going back to reporting to them, you know, because I received this recently, somebody's taking a clip of something that we said about somebody, you know, trying to cause dissension, you know, and that really shouldn't be it, you know, because we're open, we're transparent with what we talk about, what we do, and what we say, you know. And if we got to discuss anything with anybody, you know, the platform's open, you know, so people shouldn't have to like listen to us and then go back and tell certain personalities, oh, well, this is what I heard on this and that kind of stuff, you know. So we got to be unified with each other. That's a priority. We got to have education. That's a priority. We got to have power. That's a priority. We got to have empowerment. That's a priority. We got to have unity, you know, like put these priorities up as action plans and, you know, put them to work, you know. I was reading this book actually on this subject. Well, I was listening to an audio book, and it was like it was called 100 ways to influence your people as leaders, right? And one of the topics that they said, like far as prioritizing things, it says to that you should put the worst first. Put the worst first. And what they meant by that is take the things that are the most difficult for you as far as an organization and put them at the forefront and tackle those first. You know, get those out the way, and then the other things will be easier to achieve. You know, so we might have to use that model. What's the worst first for us? And put that at the top of the list and knock it out. You know, take it from A to Z, put it together, and then all of the other things will fall in place, inshallah ta'ala. But we got to do it because, you know, we were talking prior before the show started. You know, we're just talking about like different communities, imams. You know, we're talking about the Eid and stuff. And then I was at the Eid today. You know, and one of the discussions came up like who are the younger imams? You know, who would take your place? You know, and we were talking about one particular community. Imam Amin asked me about the imam. He said, "Where is he?" I told him, you know, how old he was. He was like, "What?" You know what I mean? Like he's not young. You know what I'm saying? You know, and alhamdulillah, we still kind of young, but we ain't that young. You know what I mean? So we getting up there, and you know, we got to look at the next generation when we're prioritizing how to put them in pocket. You know what I mean? And so we really got to do those things as an ummah. Collectively on here, like I said, or, you know, in our communities, you got to be a part where you helping people, you know, get on, helping your communities, you know, thrive, helping your communities flourish, because, you know, just talking to people around the country and just, you know, we African-American communities are having the same problems all around the board, you know, getting people committed, you know, people supporting, people staying put, you know, people, you know, making financial contributions like on a regular basis or more than what they're giving, you know. So many things we really got to put in place and do them, you know. And I think we with this platform that we've developed, we're able to, you know, get it going, inshallah ta'ala. So that's my opening statements.
Hey, can I ask a question? Because that was a and I guess Imam Naeem and both of y'all can answer it. Was, what do you think is the most difficult thing that we're facing that should be first in your thoughts? Because you would like put the most difficult things first, the hardest thing first. What do you believe is the hardest thing that we're facing as a community, as a people? I'm talking about as Muslims.
The hardest thing, I think the hardest thing for, that I think is us really seeing the vision of a Muslim community, really seeing the vision of what it can really be if we stay committed. And, you know, we just so caught up in survival mode. You know, everybody's trying to make a living. Everybody's trying to get comfortable, that we can't see the vision going together, that we will gain some strength. You know, and the vision might take, you know, 10, 15, 20 years for us to really see it flourish. And a lot of people don't have patience for that kind of stuff. You know, they want the changes right now. They want this right now. They want the school right now. And then, but all that stuff takes, you know, it takes commitment. You know, it takes for everybody being on the same accord, the same page, and having the same contributions, you know, day in and day out is what makes a success. You know, it ain't just going to happen. You know, our Masjids ain't just going to be beautified out of the blue. We just not going to get teachers out of the blue. The day in and day out success is what we need. And I think we need more people to commit to that so we can reach a certain level, you know, and Allah knows best.
I don't know if I can give one answer to that, but I agree with Imam Faheem with regards to commitment. For whatever reason, people don't want to commit, and you need commitment to do anything. You need people, you know, as they say, are, you know, 10 toes down. They got both feet in it. They in it, and it's rare to find people like that. A lot of people, they're like, I do this. I'm going to determine my level of participation, you know, and it's only going to be this much. You take it or leave it. That's the kind of you can't even call it commitment, but that's the kind of commitment or the level of commitment that people have. And another thing I would say is consistency. Like we'll do a lot one time and that's it. You know, we need consistency. You know, make it your regular habit. And I think another difficult thing that we have is that I don't think a lot of us think that it's possible what we're talking about. They can't see it. Like a lot of things that motivate me, like I've seen people do it before. So I know if he can do it, I can do it. And I think a lot of us, because of our lack of exposure, a lot of the things that we're talking about, we don't think it could be done. And so, you know, it sounds good, it feel good talking about it, but on a real core level, we don't think it could be done. So, you know, if we knew it can be done and we could do it, you know, the energy will be there. But a lot of us don't really, a lot of us think this is just fantasy stuff, you know. So that's what I'll say. I had something else too, but as I was talking, other stuff kept coming to my mind. But I think these are some of the things that are major impediments to what we're talking about.
What was the other things you had on your mind, black man? This is black man's platform, brother.
Okay, because you said one thing and I already mentioned three.
You going to dog spelled backwards?
Another thing I'll tell you, since you want me to add to it, it's not necessarily it's a problem, but it affects other problems. And I guess in English we would say our moral compass is like in a toilet to be Muslims. Like our morality is shot. Like, and I'll give you an example. My daughter just messaged me and asked me to do a shout out to the male spectators on our platforms. You know, because you know how many times you always mention, listen, we don't want to be that, we don't want this platform to be a place where, you know, brothers violate our code of ethics and be trying to private message sisters and stuff like that. Because my daughter be people try to follow, get private messages and all that kind of stuff. They supposed to be in class. They weren't about sisters. You know what I mean? And so, and I'm saying that it is a way to say that I know from experience and observations that the reason why a lot of us don't get together, can't get together, don't mess with each other is because a lot of times we be doing grimy stuff. And that's my word, grimy. Right? We be doing grimy stuff to other people. And one of the things that Umar ibn al-Khattab, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he would write to his amirs in different places, right? He would always remind them to stay away from sins. Because if we do sins, right? If we do sins, Allah takes away his divine assistance. And when you dealing with your enemy, you need Allah's divine assistance to help you. You need the angels. You need all of these things. We need all of these. We need Allah's assistance to help us, right? But our sins are just like the sins of the kuffar. And so when Allah takes away his divine assistance, it's just a matter of who got the most skill, who got the most numbers, and who got the best weapons. And so Allah leaves us to ourselves. And a lot of times we be doing too many sins. We wonder why Allah not helping us. Leave off the sins, right? So I think that's something that we talk about it, but we don't talk about it in the context of getting done what we need to be done. You know what I'm saying? If we stealing from each other, if we lying, if we backbiting, if we trying to fornicate, we in the class learning about Allah and his messenger, but we slithering in each other's inboxes while the class is going on and stuff. That's why people don't know what you're talking about. you give it a class and It'd be conversations in the thread, then it'd be conversations in the inbox happening at the same time too. And so you wonder, Imam Amin, you be like, hey, man, there's a whole bunch of y'all here. Why don't you say something? They ain't saying it because they in the inbox, right? They got to get back to the screen. And what was you saying? Oh, yeah, right, yeah, all right, yeah, because they're in the inbox, right? So I just leave that there. But, we have trust issues, and the trust issues don't come from nowhere. We don't trust each other because we stab each other in the back all the time. Now we talk about building communities with people we don't trust. So we got to become trustworthy people. We got to be the opposite of the hypocrites. When we speak, we got to tell the truth. When we make a promise, we got to keep it. And we can't be backstabbers,
On a good note, what I'm noticing though, there is a movement that's happening here of awakening the consciousness of individuals, right? And I think that once we get to the point that we realize that we have a work to do for us, we have a work to do for us, right? Could y'all put that in the comment section for a minute? We have a work to do for us. Please put that there. Help me out. Y'all know I like to get everybody involved. We have a work that we have to do for us. We capital, us capital. All caps. And I think when we get this point, it's easier. No one can interfere. This is our stuff. We got to do something for us, right? Once we get there, we realize that. Then there is the selection process. Who among us is best fit to fulfill the responsibilities of us doing for ourselves? We have to, not everybody can do everything, but everybody can fulfill a role. I think sometimes we just put too much on too many people or on one or two individuals to do everything, right? This is our objective, and this is your part in that objective. This is what you got to do, right? And I think we need to start having that conversation, right? No country survives without allies. Once they establish, then they work with their allies. But they can't work with allies until they're established, So it has to be us. Once we establish something, then we can work with others to help further all of our collective good as an ummah. So what we need to do is to say, listen, what's your skill set, right? Here's what we need. What can you do? But everybody got to understand we're doing something for us. It's not for me, right? I'm going to benefit from us, but it's not for me, right? And maybe the next thing we can put is it's not about me. Maybe we should put that and keep it in our mind. It's not about me. It's about us. It's not about me. It's about us. Sometimes we need to have these conversations with ourselves. Because if you're not thinking about us and you're always thinking about you, we're never going anywhere. right? If it's always about you and you never thinking about us, we're going nowhere. At least not together, right? So we got to get out of what's my benefit. Maybe I'm not going to benefit anything. I'm just going to help us, and that's a benefit in itself, right? And I think that's part of our problem. We ain't thinking about us. We're too busy thinking about me, right? I'm not comfortable. So what? Is everybody else comfortable? Yeah, all right, then you be uncomfortable, right? Right? Like that's the concept. Somebody's not going to be comfortable because someone's going to have to do some extra sacrifice for us. So somebody's going to go through some stuff. And I think that's a big part of our deen, sacrifice, right? And I think we're missing that part. Do you think all the companions were comfortable? No, some of them suffered for the whole of the ummah, right? And I think that's just a major, major challenge for us, right? Because I give an example. Tell me, I was thinking about this yesterday. Is it us when we as individuals, or I, got more money than the masjid or the community? Think about that. I have more money than the entire community has. Do anyone see a problem with that thinking? I'm more secure myself than the entire community together.
When we learn the thought process of our teachers, we don't see a problem with that.
Say that again?
And we go by the thought process of the people that taught us or we influenced by, we don't see a problem with that.
Right. Like that's deep. And we satisfied with that. That our communities are struggling, but I'm straight. Our communities are struggling to pay their bills, but I pay my bills and go on vacation. And I don't see nothing wrong with that. Like, think about that. So if I'm in a better condition than the whole community, right? That's a serious me and no us. Like, that's a serious me and no us. But if our collective wealth and our collective resources are all used individually, our community won't progress, right? So I think that's just something we need to think about. It's not just money. There's other resources, intellectual resources, right? Technical resources. We have a lot of resources, but we use it only for me and mine. But aren't we brothers and sisters? So aren't I a part of yours, right? Like, we are family. And that's why we need to have that conversation of a family. I'll close with my last thought on this point. I watched on the internet the other day, I was watching a person, because, you know, sometimes you need to study your enemy, right? You know, it helps you defeat him when you study him. You watch his tapes, right? And I was listening to an individual who has benefited from our community, but has never put nothing back in our community, go to his community and talk about the importance of building institutions and building schools and everyone sacrificing. And I was thinking, like, deep. He's educating his people how to build their own, but taking from our people and leave us with nothing, right? Like, so it's not like he's not conscious, because he's doing it for his own. And he was pushing people who have way more resources than us. He's pushing them to sacrifice for their own benefit, and he's showing them their benefit, right? But in our community, take our resources and show us no benefit for ourselves, right? And I think that's deep to think about that. For us to be in this vicious cycle of not caring about ourselves. So I think we need to make that a call. It's about us. And all of us think like that. So even if I'm not so comfortable, okay, this is a good question. Even if I'm not so comfortable, right? I'm gonna make sure we go forward, right? That's the thought we gotta have. So imams, give me an idea of what some jobs are that you want us to do individually to get this project of building our communities on the road. Stop talking about Fawzan, right? That's
a great start.
That's an excellent start, right? We could just start right there. No more al-aqidatul fawzaniyya. How about that? Right? Or al-fiqh al-fawzani, right? No, I'm just messing with you. No, you know what? What we need to do is follow. That's it. That's something, that's a job you can do. Every one of us can do is follow. I say this, I believe if we had 50 real followers, what do I mean? As they used to say back in the day, hear and obey, brothers and sisters. I hear and I obey, right? I hear and I obey. Give us 50 people like that, we'll get the job done. Right? He told us to do it, I'm doing it. Right? That's it. Right? If you could get 50 people like that among us, because there's a lot of us between all of our communities, if we just had 50 people that just hear and obey, we'll get the job done. Because those 50 people will be an inspiration for the others, right? But a lot of us don't follow. That's totally out the question. Don't tell me what to do. How are we going to collectively move if no one tells you what to do? You ever see a company be successful and nobody listens to the people in charge? And there's no one in charge? You ever seen a company like that? Right? So I think that's the best job you can do right now is hear and obey. That's Quran, you know, Sami'na wa ata'na, right? That is a part of our religion, right? We have people in charge, right? Those who are in charge among you. The Prophet ﷺ always appointed an emir, right? Somebody got to tell you what to do, right? Would you think that's a good start, imams? That's just my point. I'll stop.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a good point? Get some people that's going to listen?
Yeah, that's a great start. I mean, I don't see why people really undermine the significance of just following, man, because first of all, it's real easy. You know, we need to just keep putting the drops in the bucket, and then when the breakthrough comes, we'll be ready, you know. And what we're doing now, you know, we're building up the momentum with the mindset, the trust, everything we're doing with this, you know. So no matter what happens, you know, we're going in the same way. But in the meantime, keep putting that drop in the bucket. Keep attending. Keep sharing. Keep taking notes. Keep attending classes. And next thing you know, like we look up from a year, like right now from last year, we done built a family online. We done built, you know, a nice something online, you know. That it turned into something in person. The next breakthrough is going to turn into something that's going to benefit all of us. You know, just be patient and follow the process, because there's a trust factor that we need to have there. You know, there's a trust factor. Like, don't even make any apprehensions in your mind about it. Look, donate your money, tune in, share, and then we building up the things that's going to help all of us. That's a lot to do, and it helps a lot. It's a great start, you know.
Hey, can I share something with quickly, Imam? You know what makes us stick together? We all like that with each other. We don't mind following. No matter who's, like, we never have an arguing about not following. We make a decision. Whoever makes it, we agree and we roll. Have we ever had a dispute?
Yeah, about who sang lead, because you know what I mean. Well, nah, there ain't no dispute because you don't get lead. You know.
Right? Think about it. So it's doable. We've been together for doing this for over a year now, right? And we've been cooperating with each other for over a decade, right?
Yeah.
And we never had an argument. We've never crossed one another. So it's doable. Like, we never, like, all right. Even when we disagree, it doesn't cause, we respect, that's how you feel, and we move on to something else. Like, that's amazing. I just wanted to highlight that because, and we're dealing with money now, and we don't even have money talks. We don't even have money disagreements. No one's sitting around like, where's the money? Who's doing what? Like, whatever we got to do, we just do it. Like, that's deep, right? That's a testament of what we could do. Like, I hate to say it like this, Negroes got cash and they not fighting. They not arguing, they not distrusting one another. They like actually trying to do something and no one's concerned about who's gonna cross each other. That ain't even in the mind. That's deep. And I think we all can do that when we join in, as we was talking about that group, that core group.
I think, you know, when you was talking just now, I was just thinking, you know, how many, and this happens in cities all over the place. Like, it's Eid time right now, right? How many times communities can't get together, even if they're doing Eid on the same day, because everybody's worried about who's going to be the one to give the khutbah, right? I think if we was to have the argument, we will be arguing about who's not going to give the khutbah. I ain't gonna give it. I ain't gonna give it either. But somebody got to give it, right?
You give it.
We just discovered who's going to give it. Ain't that right, Imam Faheem? You
Boom, back, baby.
at the bottom, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's going.
The store on the board. The store on the board.
Yeah, that's who's going to do it. So that ain't a discussion. That's not a debate. You know who's doing it.
Yeah, the list of priorities, that one's checked off. Boom. All right, next one.
So yeah, I mean, that's just my thought. I was just like, we got something good, and we just need to add to that, to expand it. But when you got that kind of trust, I think that's a major factor. And we don't see eye to eye on everything, right? I mean, like, we do our stuff, but that never mess with our hearts. And we never look bad at each other. We keep rolling. Everyone's looking out for everyone else's benefit. It's just a beautiful thing. I'm sorry, I just went off on a scattered thought there.
Oh yeah, you put the question.
What's a business accelerator? Could somebody give me some definitions?
Yeah, I never heard that.
Or is that just a fancy term for the Masjid getting into business? I don't know.
Okay, there's a brother that had a statement. He said the imams, if the imams are not concerned with the needs of the people, they should not expect to be supported. So what say you, imams? You're not concerned with the needs of the people, it seems.
That's not us. They ain't talking about us.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think you're on the wrong.
No one in our communities, no one who know us, no one who ever met us would say that about us. They're not talking about us. So that just totally doesn't apply, right? We are two. There's never two. But our wives would say we are too concerned with our communities. Would we agree?
Hey, y'all ever be like, you know, somebody in your community going through something or whatever, having some issues, and then you have to stop yourself, like, because you get emotionally involved, like you in it, like, man, why don't she just do this, or why don't he just do this? I told him, and then you got to stop yourself, be like, wait a minute, they're grown up, you advise them, they're gonna make their own decisions, let them do them. You ever had the moments?
Yeah, no. I get it. Seriously, like, being black imams, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice.
And the brother just clarified. He said that was just a general statement. It wasn't directed at us.
I mean, but I'm saying, like, as a black imam, sometimes the community survival is on your shoulders. I don't think none of us like it like that, but that's what it is. Like, if you don't do it, we crumble. You better, right? Like, you don't have a choice. If you in that position, you're gonna learn after. All of us are looking for someone to take our place. Like, yo, man, all right, why don't you give Jew more? Why don't you do a class? We ain't gonna just throw it away, but we always looking for someone to step up. But sometimes that's hard to find, right?
Yeah. You know, when you just said that, it was like I tried one time briefly to separate caring with this job, man. And you can't do it. You know, and I think that's what drives all of us, because we actually do care. You know what I mean? And now with this online platform, we got to deliver even more to care for people that we don't even really know their realities in some cases. I give you a case in point. Somebody inboxed me, you know, about a situation out of state. And I'm like, well, you know, who told you to contact me? And they said, well, I saw you on the Black Imams Roundtable. I mean, listen, don't get it twisted. We are actual imams in actual community. Like, we ain't just ain't waiting around for Tuesday night to present ourselves as imams. Like, you know, we getting calls all week. I mean, I don't know. But then it made me think, like, you know, this platform is special because, I mean, now you got to extended care online. I'm like, okay, now I got to check this situation out. So, you know, I took the initiative to follow up, you know, and alhamdulillah, it worked out a little bit, but it was like, man, you know, I mean, damn, that's the first thing they said. Like you were the, you know, like it's almost like I saw you on the TV show. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, don't do that. You know, this ain't that type of time, you know, like there's fame involved in this. Yeah. Yeah, I saw you on Facebook TV, my brother. You know, oh man, listen. So I mean, I tried, man. It's so hard, man. But I did, you know, decide that I'm not gonna let it like overwhelm me with stress. You know, in these last years, that's what I haven't let it like stress me out, because it used to stress me out. You know, so
I had Issa was hanging out with me during the Issa was hanging out with me during the cookout. Me and Issa got to hang out, right? And he got firsthand experience of how this thing goes. He's like, whoa. It's like first-hand experience. He said, tell you, he got first-hand experience how this thing go. SubhanAllah, man. It's not easy. May Allah make it easy. But this is the thing. I don't know many. I'm not saying imams don't do stuff. I'm not saying that. Because I know some imams do stuff, right? Like there was an imam, a famous imam, black imam. He stole all the Masjid's money. All right? Like, we opened him a business. I ain't gonna lie. When they told me this, I couldn't help but laugh. Not laughing, because they looking at what's so daggone funny, right? Excuse me. I wasn't laughing that he stole the money. That wasn't what I was laughing about. It may have appeared that was funny because I had like tears in my eyes. I was laughing so hard, right? But that's not what I was laughing about. I asked the question. I said, was y'all paying that imam a livable salary? It was like, no. And I was thinking from the side of that frustrated, broke imam who's been struggling for decades, and y'all ain't showing him no kind of compensation. He just got like Shaitan got to him. He just said, man, this is my money. We started him a business and I.
Why do I feel like I know who you're talking about?
Right. And I'm just saying, we don't think about that part, right? That what made him do that, right? Is he just a bad guy? Or is there some other factors that made him lose his mind and spend all the Masjid's money? But he didn't waste it. He went and started a business. What made him do that?
You know what? I know now, I'm thinking from an imam's perspective, the element that's missing is probably how much of his own money he had already put in.
Right.
You know? When he had to cover. Yeah.
Yeah, his mindset. Right. He was like, this is my money. But if you look at, we did a, oh my goodness. I'm sorry. But I know the dude, I know the imam, and he's been in service for a long time. Oh my goodness. I don't even just know he's been in service for a long, long time. And I'm just thinking frustration, Shaitan, I don't know his circumstances. Nobody cared about all that, right? Just, man, he took the money. And the fact, let me show you something. How did he take the money and nobody knew about it? What does that tell you about that community? He took the money, started a business, and they say it was over 100,000, right? How did he do that and nobody knew nothing?
Because he was doing everything. There was no other body that was treasurer, secretary, nothing. He was doing everything anyway, so it was really easy.
So, like, we don't have no responsibility in his actions. We don't even think about it like that. Like, this dude took all the money, right? And we just think, like, I'm just saying, think about the conditions we develop, but we take no responsibility, right? Of course, from his side, he should never do such a thing. But for me, I'm just thinking, imagine his mindset. Because as an imam, we imams, we know how frustrated we get sometimes. Like, I just think where his mind was at.
Some of us think it's haram for the imam to get paid. I think a lot, especially the older generation. You're supposed to be broke. And you're supposed to go to work full time. And you're supposed to be dedicated to the masjid full time.
And you're supposed to be there for all 5 salats. You're supposed to, marital counseling, interfaith, all this stuff. You just got to show up. You got to go downtown and meet with, the mayor's office. You got to go to the school. You got to speak to the youth. You got to talk to other pastors. You got to go get somebody, pull them up out the streets. You got to get somebody for beating their wife up. I mean, whew.
And I think it's the older generation, because I know, like in my community, like a lot of times I can tell, like some of the older brothers, they always try to fill my posts. Hey, so what you doing now, you man? Like how you making your money, basically, right? I'm like, hey, it's always the older generation too.
Mm-hmm.
Sister Imari, where she's at? That's my sister. Ain't you from Chicago? Didn't we see you at the cookout from Chicago? Sister Imari. I think that's you, right? You had some trouble getting there in the bus and plane and made a real sacrifice. I think that's her. Anyway, right?
Yeah, that's her. She has some issues coming in. I believe.
Yeah, right.
And we had a question. You going to say something now?
Here's the thing. I just wanted to share this. I think they should get paid. I want to ask something to y'all. Based on what she said, how many of y'all think the imam should be full-time and should be paid? I'm talking about black imams, because they're not. They're full-time, but they're definitely not paid, right? Even if they got another job, they full-time as an imam, right? How many of y'all, honest question, think the imam should be paid? Black imam, because the immigrants get paid. We're talking about black imams. All right, no, be honest. Right? Now, y'all know me by now. Every question has a result coming with it. We got enough I do. Everyone agrees, right? Now, the question is, how many are you willing to put up the money to pay that imam? You say you agree to get paid. How many of you are willing to pay that imam? That's the question you become to ask. How many are willing to pay that imam? Right? And here's my point. That needs to be done for every community that is developed. Those existing and those to come, right? We have to actually put up our money, right? We actually have to do it. We become too complacent with not doing, right? And we'll figure out other ways that we don't have to pay. Oh, they should get, what they call that? They should get a grant. They should do this. No, you should be involved and first take care of your leaders, right? That should be a mindset. We got to take care of our leaders, right? And that should be a first thing. And if we have to do it ourselves, we'll do it, right? That should be our mindset, right? And then you establish a mindset among the people that I have a responsibility. Too many of us feel as I have no responsibility. Let me take the sister down. I have no responsibility. You do, right? So where are we at, right? Where are we at right now in the fundraiser? Where are we at for to this week's fundraiser before I go pray? Where are we at? Did you got the numbers where we at? Could you tell us real quick? That's someone behind the scenes working.
She said, give her a minute.
Yeah, she said, give her a minute. Hey, you're getting paid. You need to speed it up. Right? You ain't like the imams. The imams don't get paid. You do. Speed it up. No, I'm just joking. Right? Right? But now here's what I'm saying. If all of us together struggle, right? It is. We raised 300 tonight. Don't we have this talk every week? How much at minimum should we raise every week? Come on, let's be honest with us so we don't just talk and waste our time. Like, we got to be honest with each other. How much do we say we need to make every week? Just the commitment we made among ourselves here on the Black Imams Roundtable. What is our weekly goal that we agreed? I wish, Rosalind, we didn't say that, but we said a minimum of what? 500, right? Everybody knows this. Why every week we got to go through, we ain't reach our goal? Why? And all of us said, and by the way, that money pays no imam, none. So it ain't about paying an imam. It's all of us together. We have more than 50 people every week, way more than 50 people. Why do we have this discussion every week? I got to be honest with us. And everyone who's watching us will never take us serious when we don't do what we're supposed to do. And I'm just being honest, right? This is easy stuff. Let's apply this. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Right? That was last week. We're talking about this week. And every week. Right? And here's what I'm saying. I'm only saying this not about money. Right? Let's be honest with us. How many of us could easily give $100 a week? I'm one of them. Be honest. I'm one of them. I could easily give $100 a week without even thinking about it. I could do it. And my family could do it. Right? So that's only me and my family. Right? Right? Think about this. Ahmed Sadiq, I know you could do it. Right? Right? This stuff is easy. So that's one, right? I'm speaking for myself, right? And how many could match my $100? Honest, be honest, easily, without even thinking about it, every week. How many of you could do it? I may have to leave off some Starbucks, but I could do it. Like, I could do it, right? I could do it with ease. How many of you could do it? Be honest. I'm not counting your pocket. I just want us to be honest with ourselves, right? We got you, Ahmed. We got you twice, right? So that's $200 from two people. Come on. Honestly, every week you could do. I don't know what Rosin, I don't know what the clapping means. So that's idle. That's 300. All right, you could try, right? But I want to know who could do it. No trying. Easy. No problem. I could do it. So that's 3 people. Out of all us, be honest. I feel like Imam Siraj, right? I feel like Imam Siraj Raj, right? Aisha, is that a one? Okay, that's me. So what I mean, here, this one is asking, put the thing up for this person. Where do I donate? Put up. Here's my point. If 5 of us, and I know some of us, we so tight, I got it, right? 5 of us can do this with no problem. We should never have to ask for money. Do you understand what I'm saying? Y'all get my point? We should never have a conversation about money if we're serious, especially when the little bit we asking to do the work for you, for us. It's not nobody's salary, right? It's easy to do when we're serious, right? And I look back just on my life. That's why I say it's easy. I used to give $100 a day, every single day, to our mission when I was coming up as a youngster in the Ansar community. Every day, $100 a day, every single day. 365 days a year, nonstop. Rain, sleet, snow, it didn't make a difference. Every day, $100. So for me, it's an insult for me to say I can't do $100 a week. That means I'm really, like, for me, like, if I can't do $100 a week, man, I'm really slacking big time. I really don't, I'm not serious at all. I'm talking about for myself. So what I'm saying, we got to start showing some seriousness, right? Right? We got what we need to build our communities. We're just not serious enough. And I think we need to be honest with ourselves. Not put ourselves down, but just be serious. A lot of this is us playing games. So go ahead. I'm gonna go pray real quick, but that was my motivation. Imam Faheem, I think we get the all right, so we got the donations for today. Whatever else is extra, it helps to do more work. It's not a salary, but if we can maintain one thing that we do consistently, the scholars say anything you do for 40 days straight, it becomes a habit, right? So let's take that. If we could go 40 weeks straight of never asking for the money, it's automatic. We come in, we do it. Boom. It'll become our habit. And that's one step we get to building for ourselves. Because that's not something, all we're going to use is that money to go do all this stuff we're talking about. Because it does take money, right? So we could do it. And this is light stuff. We're not talking about paying nobody's salary. But if we can't do the little stuff, how are we going to do the big stuff? That's something we should think about. All right, I'm going to go pray real quick.
Yeah, okay. You know, it should be a thing, like, right away. Like, we know from this week, now start getting ready for next week. You know what I mean? If you know you're going to be here next
Imam,
week,
can you take your microphone off? Because one microphone got to be off for Imam Faheem's voice to come out clear.
All right.
Okay,
mine is on now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it should be like, okay, now we start setting up for next week. Now we see we're at 700. Let's push the other 300, you know? Let's push the other 300. Give another $10 to $20 for those who ever get. Because there's some people just sitting in the back in the cut, okay, just watching it. Yeah, just kid, you know what I mean? So we watch the pot grow, you know what I mean? And then things will start to develop for us. Like the whole way that this developed, you know, and to be honest, I don't even know where this came from, the Black Imams Roundtable. All I know is he called me on, and then we just started meeting on Tuesdays. And this turn, I mean, so many lovely people that I've met here that I correspond with sometimes, you know, offline, or I see they added friends. Like, it turned into really something nice, you know, just out of an idea. You know what I mean? Alhamdulillah, I was able to meet some people in Pittsburgh in person, you know, and I missed the barbecue. But then the next event, you know, we'll see more people. You know, I'm constantly running into people in my area, you know, saying that they saw me on the Black Imams Roundtable, and they, you know, they be like, yeah, I know Imam Naeem, and I know Imam Amin and all that stuff, you know, and that, I mean, I don't really like that kind of like fanfare, but it means something, you know what I mean? It means something what we're doing here. And part of, and, you know, giving a little bit of money is just part of it, just consistently, you know, a drop in the bucket, you know what I mean? You turn how that the thing said, you know, piece by piece. The faucet, you know, put the bucket on the faucet with the drip. Each drip, and then it just builds up. You know, that's all we're trying to do, build up. You know, because it's not paying nobody's salary. Even if, you know, we need to go $2,000 in a month, you know, that's not, you know, that's not enough to pay nobody's salary. You know what I'm saying? You know, not no real salary. That might pay our expenses, and then okay, we talking about, you know, just regular stuff like rent and, you know, utilities. You know, we still got to eat, we got to drive. You know what I mean? We gotta wear clean clothes. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know, so but you know, just keep going at it, man, because you know, I can tell you, you know, and this is not no boasting. You're not gonna find too many imams like us. You're not gonna find too many imams like us that, you know, have been willing to put communities on our backs. You know what I mean? You know, to take care of the hard stuff, you know, and deal with the hard issues. You know, some of them that, you know, we can't even bring to social media because, you know, this is not the proper place. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on offline, you know, that all of us could tell you stories like, man, you know, wow, how do you do it? You know what I'm saying? I just had a meeting with, you know, some people yesterday, and that's what the brother asked me. He said, how do you do it? Brother, I don't know, but I do it, you know. And, you know, because I've taken the responsibility to do it, you know, I expect at least a little support, you know, and it shouldn't take so much energy to give support, you know, as much as it takes to really do the work. You know what I mean? Like, I got to put energy into doing the work and putting energy into garnering support from people. It's too much, you know. And then, you know, then when imams quit or disappear or do goofy stuff, and you be like, oh, the first, you know, they want to throw him under the bus. How could he? Yeah, the whole time, you know what I mean? He was begging, he was pleading for help. You know what I mean? And you know, and then and it's like anything else, if you got to take the, you know, responsibility for every single thing, then you've taken ownership for it. Yeah, it's mine. You just can't come in and tell me what to do now. You know what I'm saying? I done built this up. Now you're gonna walk in and tell me what I need to do? Ah, man, kick rocks. You know, but you can help me, you can suggest, you can talk to me, but if you're not matching my effort, you can't come and tell me what to do. You know what I'm saying? I figured it out this long. You know, we were floating this long, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna drown myself. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you know, but we just need that support, you know. And alhamdulillah, we got people like y'all, and even people in our communities, they feel it, they see it, and you don't really have to go twist their arm, you know, because they understand. And we just looking for more of that. That you see the effort, you see the initiative, you see the consistency, you know what I mean? And then we just keep going.
Imam, they're asking about your T-shirt.
No, this is exclusive Boom Boom Bap T-shirt. Nobody can wear a shirt like this. As a matter of fact, if you ever see somebody with a shirt like this, rip it off them, report them to me, or I want their heads. Nobody wears a Boom Bap T-shirt. This is off the market.
Alhamdulillah.
Right?
You heard the Imam, right?
That's it. But don't ask me about it no more.
Y'all can get a Black Imams Roundtable shirt.
Yeah, you can get one of those. That's the one I have on next week. But a Boom Bap, that's exclusive. You know what I mean?
And if y'all want the Black Imams Roundtable shirt, post a link in the box. Want to see it? Here you go.
You said no copyright in Islam. You're right. This is the black part right here. All right. Yeah, it is what it is, man. It's the Boom Boom Bap. I built this brand by myself. You wasn't in the gym when I was shooting jumpers to build this brand. Now you want to wear it? Nah. No, they got other people with T-shirts. Go, you know, go buy them fancy T-shirts.
Allahu Akbar.
Inshallah. And the person that I got to making the T-shirts is exclusive. You know, he in the cut. I ain't giving him up. Not giving him up.
Allahu Akbar.
But alhamdulillah, you know, we do appreciate everybody's support every week. And, you know, we do love you. You know, we just got to keep, you know, going at each other, you know, in the same way we hold you all to a standard. you know, you hold us to a standard, you know, and that's how we build the love, you know, and we do appreciate it. So I'm assuming that since I mentioned it, you know, that we are able to, you know, to score this other $300 tonight. How about it? You know, let's make it a rack real quick. You know what I'm saying? Make it a rack real quick. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing but $10 to $20 between 50, 100 people. That's easy. That's easy. You know? And then, you know, we have some people, and then, you know, some of the things that we request, you know, make sure that you follow up on it, you know. Make sure that you follow up on some of the stuff that, you know, that we requested in the past. Make sure that you continue to support the classes wherever they are. You know, make sure you tune in, share. All of that stuff means something. You know, there was a time that, you know, I didn't think that some of the stuff that I was doing, you know, with all this talk about paying imams, like, I thought that you just do it, you know, because it's something that's pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But then I realized that it's actual work. You know what I mean? Like, preparing for a class is preparing for a khutbah is actual work. You know what I mean? That, you know, we so used to the mind frame, you go on and punch in the clock and working the shift. I mean, that's some actual work and energy that you did to try to put something together that, you know, it should be at least an honorarium. You know what I mean? It's a lot of work. You know what I'm saying?
And then giving the khutbah, a lot of people think you just talking. To me, it's exhausting.
Man, that joint is exhausted. Then they be like, okay, after Jumu'ah, you know, everybody want to talk. Man, I'm ready to go get something to eat, take a nap, man. I've been up since before Fajr preparing this thing. What do you mean? You want to talk to me about these issues? Man, Monday through Thursday, I was here. Oh, man.
You be trying to stay in the mindset of what you about to talk about for Juma, then people come, Imam, I want to talk to you about this. I'm like, can it wait till after Juma?
Yeah.
I don't want your conversation to make it into the khutbah.
Yeah. Or people calling me before Juma, man, want all this information. Man, didn't I tell you last week, don't call me Friday morning? This is my time. This is my blackout time.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, so alhamdulillah, but we do appreciate all of you, you know. But I don't know, maybe I will make it a brand. Will you guys support it? You know, part of the proceeds, you know, it will go to the Black Imams Roundtable. But this brand is special, you know what I mean? This is not no $10, $20 t-shirt. They $60.
Y'all heard that.
$60. A third go to the Black Imams Roundtable.
Man, they saying they'll pay for it.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold you to it. I got my man. He'll have these printed up tomorrow. You know? Yeah, somebody asked a question real quick. What time is it? Okay. There was a question. A brother asked, how do you brothers treat young people who take their Shahada? One of the ways we treat them is try to follow up with them and just hope they, you know, they don't really get lost or get distracted. You know what I'm saying? You know, one of the things I'm trying to, you know, but in these times, it's really, you give people Shahada and show interest, but then when it comes time to learn, I find a lot of people just don't want to take, you know, do what it takes to really learn and, you know, intensively. You know what I mean? Because now what we're doing is that, you know, and I respect the community, make sure people know their Father Ayin. You know, so you got to study, you got to read, you got to research, you got to answer questions. You just can't listen to it and like, you know, like don't be, you know, don't be enthused with no kind of personalities. You know what I mean? Because that's, I don't really do that kind of stuff. You know, like if you look at me as a personality, that's not me. You know, and I deflect it quick. You know, there's plenty of other people that you can follow around and be in awe of. You know, that's not me. So the first thing is be committed to learning and, you know, sticking with it and make sure that you know what you're supposed to know. But for new Shahadas, really treat them well, make sure, and just keep reaching out. But now it just seems like it's harder. You know what I mean? So
I think people have a general aversion to learning. I think we figure out a way to crack that, we'll be on to something.
Yeah.
Like, because a lot of people want to be Muslim, like they like some of the outward things, but a lot of people are turned off when they learn that. Listen, I really got to learn some. I got to memorize some stuff. I got to, I got to learn and study. A lot of people like have a problem with that. They don't say it, but they come around. They'll come around for the food. They'll come around for the emotive, speeches and all that kind of stuff. But sit in the class, learn a small basic book, cover to cover. That's when people, do the SpongeBob. All right, I'm gonna head out. They're not saying this, but this is what they do. They don't have the aptitude for it, but they'll sit around and watch different YouTube videos of lectures all day. But a class, Akida, fiqh, tasawwuf, cover to cover, even small basic books, people like, nah. I figure if we find out a way how to crack that, I think I know what it is, but I'm not completely sure yet. But I think I know what it is.
I wanted to share. I missed a lot, but I wanted to say something, right? On a more talk about the learning part. I think a lot of us are afraid to learn because we're afraid to say, I don't know. Like, the learning process also has the process of being exposing what you don't know. Some of us have never learned in our life, let alone Islam or anything else. So we're not good learners. We don't know how to learn. And it's been our life practice to hide our ignorance, right? Sometimes I remember they used to say in school, the dude wasn't that smart, but I could beat you up, right? I knock you out if you know what I mean? So we got to have a sense of connection that people feel comfortable being vulnerable with us, right? In our communities. I'm cool with saying I don't know. It's all right. It's good. I'm not going to be ridiculed. I'm not going to be put down. Someone really cares about me. They're going to help me learn, right? And I think that may be one of the barriers that, listen, it's cool. We all learning together, right? We're all a family. Listen, I don't care how much I'm not impressed with how much you know. And don't be impressed with how much you know, how much I know. Let's be impressed at how much we do of what we know. How about that? So if you only know one thing and you do that one thing, if I know a million things and I only do 2 of them, you better than me. How about that spirit, right? Because ultimately the knowledge is something we got to practice, right? So we got to have an environment that says, listen, man, we peoples, right? It's all good, right? We down. And you're never going to feel less than because someone knows more than you. So, and someone know more than that one who know more than you. Now what, right? And that's how we got to have in our communities so that the environment is conducive where everyone feels, right? Everyone feels, like, yeah, I'm cool, I'm down, I'm a part of it, right? Not just the learned brothers and sisters, everybody, right? Everybody has a role and everyone is important and everyone counts. With that being said, one of the things that we would like to do is over the last, I would say about 8-9 years, we've been collecting curriculums from all around the Islamic world, right? And we've been examining these curriculums and see how they worked in each area from where we took them, right? And we're in the process of building curriculums that are suitable for us, that can help us build, right? And that's why this money from the Roundtable is very important, because we want to go around the country, which we've already started and we're continuing, so that we can build in each community individuals who can do the job and have the confidence and the information and the support to do the job, right? And they got us that they don't have to worry about, like, we connected, right? I have a connection with the imams. I have a connection with the imams' teachers, and we can get this done, right? But that needs to be groundwork. You can't do that on the internet, right? No matter, let me ask y'all something. Y'all met me and Imam Naeem in person, right? Some of y'all who came to Pittsburgh, or you met Imam Faheem too. How many of y'all met us in person and get the same person you felt online, right? How many of y'all met us in person? Y'all did get to meet us. Y'all got to interact with us and met the same person you saw online. Wasn't some other guy. How many of you felt that? You felt it. I like to interact, right? When you met us, you felt like you felt like what we talk about, we mean it. Everybody needs to feel what you just said you felt around the country, right? We got to help our people. And that is important to learn, right? That's important, right? When you want to learn, you got to have that connection. They call that a khususiyya in Arabic. A khususiyya between the student and the teacher. Some closeness, some special relationship. We got to have that, right? Among us. But we got to be on the ground to do that. And to be on the ground to do that, that stuff take money, right? So those things are very important, right? And if we can just start that, and then the teaching part, actually learning, because we got to duplicate ourselves and better, not just us, because we fall short. We got to, right? We got to duplicate ourselves. There needs to be more black imams, right? That are on this, that are on what we're trying to do the same. And there are. We need to connect them. We need to meet with them. We need to have meetings. We need to really talk, right? All those things are important. We need you to be together, not just online, like get to know one another and establish relationships, because some of y'all got stuff in common that has nothing to do with us. Some of y'all got business interests. Some of y'all got different educational interests, family interests. Y'all need each other. We need each other. It has nothing to do with the imam. Y'all need to build relationships. We need to have gatherings where we come together and learn to be family. All that stuff take money. Yeah, Imam Amin's a little guy. You didn't know that? He's a little guy. He's a midget. All little guys talk like they big. It's called the Napoleon complex. I got to make up for my size. Somehow I got to talk a lot of junk, right? Hey, that's how you keep them off your back in the prison. Oh my goodness. No, you understand what I'm saying? That's important. And some of us, right? Some of us don't have any family. No. But you know what? Seriously, you'll be around us, you know, ain't none of us full of crap. This is our life. We fall short. We make mistakes. We Negroes. But I'm saying we dead serious about what we're doing. And I want to see it in all our communities around the country. Because we still got to recover from the foreign influence in our Islam that destroyed our communities. We got to make up for that, which is still happening today, right? We got a lot of work to do, man. So when we asking you to do something, seriously, ain't none of us on no, you know, this ain't no game. How Malcolm say, God's religion ain't no hustle.
I'm telling you God's words, not no hustle.
Yeah, ain't nobody in all that. You know what I'm saying? For real, man, I'm tired of watching black people suffer. It burns my to my core. I hate it. And then we got Islam and seeing us still suffer. That don't sit right with me at all. Right? Not even a little bit. And whatever I got left in my little body, yeah, Ahmed, that little body, whatever I got left, I want to give it to uplifting our people in the deen. I want to uplift Islam, but I want us to be at the forefront of that. For the revival of Islam and the establishment of Islam, I want to see some black boys and girls proudly leading, holding the banner, right? I'm tired of watching everybody else be successful and we suffer. I'm tired of looking at that, right? I see people, right? I'll give you an example. We got 2 kids in our community, right? That I'm proud of them. One a white Arab, one a Bengali, both Hafiz of the Quran. I watched them as kids, right? Their parents sacrificed, right? And now they teachers, right? And they in the masjid and they come in and they like hear and obey kids too. Like, Imam, what you need me to do? Boom, boom, and they on it, right? I'm like, man, we got to get our children there, right? We got to get, but that's parent work. There's a lot of stuff involved with that. Parents sacrificing their wealth, their time, and letting their children go, not giving them all sports. It's work. We got a lot of work to do, right? So you're a part of something great, right? And I believe we could do it. Imam Faheem, did Malika come to Camden?
No.
Oh, whoa.
If she did, she went to the Falzani spot.
Oh, okay. I saw her talking about you. Oh, that was Malik. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's our what they call that?
Imam.
Yeah.
Honored guest.
Yeah, he's our honored guest. What they call it, our recurring host.
Oh, okay.
Or something, whatever.
He don't come to Atlantic City. I think he's scared.
No.
He only come as a student. I don't know what's up. He won't come. He won't come give me a break. He's shooting you breaks all the time. I can't get a break. You know, say, yo, Imam, you need me come do a khutbah? You need me come help out? I don't know, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I pay. Look, I paid. I still can't get them to come. I think it's some down low Philly AC stuff going on. I don't know. I ain't detected it yet, but I smell it, right? What you say, Malik? Sheikh, Imam, Mufti Saab? All right, well, where we at? We done?
Yeah, I was trying to wait for Imam Naeem to come back on. But what did we how did we get the other 300 or what did we do?
I don't know. I think Sheikh A. Darus made Leslie check out. Let me find out. I don't know what she might have went to pray.
He says, set it up, Imam. He's there. Oh, yeah, we got an event on August the 6th. I got to send you the flyer.
All right, come on, Malik. You can do Eid tomorrow. Imam Malik, come on down. You can do the Eid in the morning. See how easy I am? You got to be in Masjid Muhammad, 8 o'clock. You can do
right
the
away.
Eid.
Right on it.
See how easy that was? No, she must have went to pray. See how easy that was? Look at him. Look.
Backing out.
Hey, Salam alaikum. They're looking for a count. Where you hide at?
Oh, I was getting to the bath before he fell asleep.
He take baths? Okay. All right. She coming. The sheikh needed a bath, Hawk.
MashaAllah.
He said I have to slaughter 82 lambs. See, remember I told you brothers be trying to get out of it? Imams don't want to be in front. Man, we dying for a break. You can have it. Go ahead. Assalamu alaikum. You can do Eid. You can do Jumu'ah. You can do everything. Oh, my goodness. All right, we getting the last count. There you go. See, now this is a love brother. Look at him, right? See, Imam Malik Robinson, if you go, I'll roll with you for real. So Imam Amin can take a nap in his office. Man, I would love that. But really, I would like to just go home and take a nap. Oh, man. Alhamdulillah. All right, Imam Naeem, you're going to close out? We're going to get a last count. Then we got to bring this to an end.
See, that's that having me go run into the store stuff.
We raised 900. You can't close out. We might as well just get to come on 100. Like, come on, some generous person. Let's just finish it off since we there. That 100 we was talking about, come on, some generous person. See, I would do it myself, but this was said. You ever heard this? Right? Because I'm the Imam, people think that if I give money, it ain't really for me. I took the money out the donation box. Right? So it don't matter, right? You can't do it. Imam Naeem, everybody said that about you before?
Say that again. I was reading comments.
I said the $100, I would do it, but what is going to be said by some, because I'm the Imam, that I just took the money out the donation box. It's not real. He ain't really donating that money. He got it out the box.
Yeah.
After Juma, the Egyptian said that to me.
SubhanAllah.
The Egyptians, this Juma, they came and said, yeah, we know that game. Oh, I got 500. Yeah, that's 500 from the mosque. Oh, I can't have my own 500. No one's going to believe you if you say that. So somebody else got to do it. We got it. That doesn't go for next week. That's just this week. May Allah reward you all. You know, we're coming. So where are the places are we going over the next few months? Do we got some locations? I know we had a bunch of them.
Wichita.
Wichita,
Kansas, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
They called me today, so that's true.
And somebody said from Guyana, they want us to come to Guyana.
We ain't got Guyana bread out. One of y'all can go.
We got Guyana support here, man.
We need Guyana money.
Is it expensive to fly to Guyana?
You can fly. Not for one of us. You could go.
You know, it might not be expensive.
But it don't matter. If one of us go, you could go.
And that's where Jim Jones was at. Wasn't that Guyana he was at?
One of us can go. All of us can't go, but one of us could go.
Man, that's bad dope. They try to give me some Kool-Aid down there, man. I'm out of there.
No, but some of us we can't all go to all these places, but one of us could go.
Yeah, maybe we look into it, inshallah.
Oh yeah. I was offering us to come to Montgomery, Alabama, but I wasn't sure. No, I'm just messing with you. You do got a call. I forgot. It's busy. I'm sorry. We'll make sure we make that call.
I just did a random search for from Pittsburgh to Guyana. Round trip $640.
There you go. You on there?
No, not that it gotta be me. I was just checking the flight.
It could be you. It's fine.
CJ, we could send me to the store again.
Hey, Imam Faheem, don't we agree he could go?
Yes, there's Ijma.
And then later on the second trip, one of us can go, but you can get it done.
Now they going to want all three of us.
All right, we can arrange it. Got to raise some more money.
Well, the Guyana people got it there.
Yeah, man, that might be the case too. Then that put us on the celebrity stuff. I don't like that.
Nah, yeah.
I would rather us do it ourselves and don't take money from people, right? Like we go serve. Because it's much more genuine when you can. Sheikh Imad said, I like my hand up, not down. I like my hand up, not down.
Because a couple of times, like when we trying to see when we can all make it, I'm like, hey, I can't make it, but the other two may be able to make it. And a lot of times they be like, no, we want all of y'all.
Yeah, we can arrange it, inshallah. It's important. We have to do it. Like, we have to do as much as possible. I've already prepared my family for this road trip and this COVID thing broke out. So we got to go do it because we gotta get on the ground. We got a lot of work to do. And I believe groundwork is the most important work. Groundwork.
I agree.
Where they at?
Because what we doing online and what we doing in our three communities, we have to replicate that all over the country.
Yeah.
Sister Malika want to go to New Mexico when we go. You got to change your kunya though.
Portola, Virgin Islands.
That's a place we need to go to, Virgin Islands.
Yeah, I think that's U.S. territory. You don't need a passport for that one, do you?
No.
If y'all want us to come, y'all just need to set it up and clear the dates for us. Y'all got to do some work on the ground.
Inshallah. All right, let's close out with dua. Khadijah, I gotta go. My dinner's not ready, so I gotta get off this. Wait a minute. Let's give Anita a shout out. She's been dying to get a shout out. There you go. She's been getting ignored for like almost a month or two. Right? And she's consistent. Right? You finally got your minute. Let's give her 30 seconds of fame.
Can the other sister put up them hand clap, John? Who was that? Rosalind?
I only read Quran. See, we care about you too.
You put the hand clap Johns up for her.
Now, the question, do you read Quran with tajweed or without?
She said, thank you.
She said, thank you.
Yeah.
No, she diligent. She be on it.
Yeah.
She put out only read Quran. And, you know, now, you know, we see her. And then, inshallah, after a couple more roundtables, you're going to read hadith too. Then you're going to say, I only read Quran and hadith.
Yeah.
Step by step. All right, we good, Imam Naeem? You going to close us out? Or Imam Faheem?
Imam Naeem.
I did it last time. It's not fair. How come you always make me go to the store?
Hey, there was this guy in my neighborhood, right? He's the man now, right? I used to send him. He used to be like, he was a little kid in the neighborhood. We sent him to get sodas and stuff like that, right?
Soda?
Yeah, soda.
Okay.
You know what soda is?
All right. I understand we Muslim now. He was really going to get soda?
They used to call him Little Texaco. And he's a big dude now, right? Like, Texaco, go get soda, right? Oh, man, like the gas station.
All right, I got you, Muti. I get at you tonight, inshallah.
Hey, I gotta get some royalties off these shirts because you didn't have authorization to put my name on it.
You are getting some royalties. It's going, portion of the proceeds go to the Black Imams Roundtable.
No, I'm not talking about the Black Imams Roundtable. That's my name, not Black Imams Roundtable. That's Imam. Get my cut. No, stop. Okay. Well, inshallah.
No, we don't say pop up north, Farouk. We say soda. In Pittsburgh, they say pop. But I ain't from Pittsburgh. I just live here. People from Pittsburgh that's watching just got offended right now. He said he's from Pittsburgh. See, he's a traitor.
You know we enjoy y'all, right? Oh, soda. That's what it is, soda or soda. Now y'all see why he can afford $100 a week. They call him the Black Hand. Hey, you got some imams. They 5-star plus imams. I've been around them dudes, man. They be getting money. All
First class too.
I'm telling you, they used to be calling me. We like, Imam, pack your bags. Where we going? Mecca, Medina. What? Yeah. We ain't even playing. Oh, no, we got it. Don't worry about it. Right? We're flying to Canada. We're flying here. No, none of this. I ain't saying we got to be like that, but we get work done. They donate. Tell you, are we going to close out?
Wait, man, Faheem?
ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. الفاتحة.
Thank you all very much. We appreciate all of your support, all of your help. We love you all. May Allah continue to bless us and keep us as a family.
Amin.
Can everybody put family in the box? Let me put in too. Let's listen. We family. We are family. I got Roseanne with me. Inshallah. Tell you, barakallahu bikum.
Okay, we are.
Yeah, we out. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa